Help support AMTV by becoming a patron, an AMTV staff member, and following us over on Twitter.
Hi there guys, it's Adam Martin here, and welcome back to another episode of the Now Review. And for today's instalment we're going to be taking a look at some very interestingly titled and interestingly conceived albums today, and that is Now That's What I Call a Million, and Now That's What I Call a Million. And where shall we start? We shall start with Now That's What I Call a Million from 2014. So taking a look at this cover, it's very red and gold, that's the colours I've gone for. Quite nice to look at really. I don't get the sort of, these almost look like coins that just say million on them. They might be medals or something, but I mean yeah, hit the point home I guess guys, you know, nice one. So let's have a look at the spine. Yeah, pretty standard stuff, just red and white. But of course we have to get to the track list. So we have CD1 featuring Queen and Oasis and Wings and stuff like that. So this is definitely more like, you know, a wide mix, because you have James Arthur Impossible, which was quite modern, but then you've got Queen. So as you can see, here's CD2, we are really going for a mix of million sellers, if you like, from all across the decades, and you actually have some really interesting but nice choices on here, which I'll talk about more later on. This is just sort of a skim of what we have. YMCA's on there, that's brilliant. Finishing with Is This the Way to Amarillo, released in 2014, 61 hits that sold a million. I never would have guessed. But let's have a look on the inside. So you have this little bit of text, which I'll try and pan down, you might not be able to read it. It's basically explaining about like the chart company history, how songs have sold a million, and how since the digital age came about in the mid-2000s, you know, there's more million sellers because streams are accounted. And what does it finish on? It says every one of them is a million seller. It's not often you can genuinely say that. Well, it kind of is now, you know, with more streams, so that statement's a bit redundant. But anyway, here's the disc, CD1, gold with the red trim, nice and simple. Are the other two the same? Yes, of course they are. So, you know, gold, million, achievement, blah blah blah, different trim on the logo. It's alright, but not very inspired, is it? No, not really. So talking more about the track list, I mean, any now that includes like a wide variety of songs I'm a big fan of, but there are some really interesting choices on here I never would have expected to see. For example, where is it? I'm pretty sure somewhere on here, or maybe it's on a different one, I don't know. There's just a lot of good songs on here. I can't find the example, but if you just look, I mean, look at this track list. That you've got songs from every conceivable decade that the charts have been in existence, really, and it is not often you can get all that onto a set or an album like this. Like even Elvis Presley's on here, for example. So nice variety. You want million sellers, you want variety. It's a good start with this one. Where can you get it from? Mainly second-hand now. HMV and places like that don't sell it new, or I don't think they do anyway. So second-hand, you know, your Music Magpies, your eBays, etc. And it's a really strong album, really strong spin-off for now. Even though the title's a bit daft, and a lot of people would assume more songs have sold a million, but again, nice concept, nice execution, well done to the team at Now. But of course, that is just one of two that we are looking at today, so let's have a look at the second part of our journey. Now That's What I Call a Million. So this album is from 2017, so 3 years later, and the cover reuses the sort of coin, medal, whatever it is motif. I can't tell if that's lazy or just a bit clever. And this is a bit more ugly, blue, yellow, purple and white. Not sure how I feel about that. And some spotlights as well, just for good measure. The spine is just blue and white, nice and simple. And it says 63 million sellers from the 21st century. Ah, well, that's a dead giveaway. So all of these songs on here, I'll scan down for you. But every single song on here is a million seller, but 2000 onwards, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because you do have songs from like the earlier 2000s, which I'm sure people will love. But the fact of the matter is, if you're expecting this to have more sort of hits from decades gone by, you ain't gonna get it here, finishing with How to Save a Life by The Fray. Now let's open this thing up. You have more text from the official charts company, but what I do like about this text, if you can read it, I think it's on the next column, but basically explains more about the digital age, but it also explains how this is choosing to focus on the year 2000 onwards. So at least it's self-aware, it knows that it's acknowledging the modern era, not sort of going for the past, and I have to commend them for that. They're owning that they even say we did an album, there you go, compilation 2014. They acknowledge they've already done an album like this. Disc blue, blue, blue. There's not even a change of the trim of the font. That's just very blue and sadly very boring. But yes, so what do I think about this? Well, the track list is all 21st century, as it proclaims, which is fine if you like your modern million sellers, but for me, as I've always said, I like a Now album that has, especially themed albums, that has variety, especially with a title as broad as that, as a million seller. You could have easily picked maybe more million sellers, like I know there weren't that many back in the past, but there was some you probably missed out on, so maybe it was rights or something. I do commend them that they've owned up, they've said, yes, we have chosen to go 21st century, that was our choice. That's fair enough, you know, completely. But it just makes me think, why not continue this million series, but include other million sellers from the decades gone by you missed out, do you know what I mean? It just would have hurt to put them on there, but sure, whatever. A 21st century album, if you like 21st century music exclusively, for those of you that do, then this is the better million album to get. However, like me, if you want variety, this original is the better one to get. But this million album, I think you can still pick up new in HMV. It'll be in its 2 for 15 range. I personally wouldn't pay that price for it, especially since I got this for about £3 and it's the better album, I think. You can get it off Music Magpie like I did for about £3. And, I mean, overall, you can probably guess, but if I had to pick a favourite of these two, it's going to be the original, just for the variety's sake. I mean, why they couldn't have included the other million sellers that weren't included on this, on that, I'll never know. But alas, they didn't. So we are left to wonder, will there be a third million album? Well, I think if there is, it'll purely just be focused on more 21st century stuff, the more million sellers we get, which, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But that is all for this instalment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, leave your comment down below, share this video around, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and until the next one, I will see you guys next time.
Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Hooks Media, Ben Freeman, Ethan Carberry-Holt, Brittany Fan 1999, Bruce Danton, The Broken Kitsumanoid, and Francine Salazar, our AMTV staff members.